that's a very good thing. So they were definitely trying to be proactive so that they could respond to a disaster. So it's kind of one of those decisions that you need to make on your own, but I've tried to give you kind of the pros and cons to both sides.
So if this would pass, would the governor then have the option to do this or martial law?
Yes, it does not preclude him. But likely this would be, I would assume that this would be how he would do it. So Measure 78. This is strictly a legislator, a freshman legislator, Raleigh Hicks from down south, decided that he's a lawyer, and one of his things was that our Constitution wasn't up to date in terminology as we teach it in the classroom. And so this is a pretty simple amendment. Literally all it does is right now in our Constitution we refer to the legislative branches as legislative departments. That's how our Constitution refers to them. So all he does is go in and literally fix the terminology from department to branches, so it's how we commonly refer to the legislative branches now, because that's the terminology. So he's just simply updating the terminology. And then also under the Secretary of State, it does refer to him, he, or his, rather than a generic male or female language. I don't know about you, but I've been in a man's world all my life. It doesn't bother me that it says that because I know that's Latin and it means it's kind of the reference for human being, not necessarily for the sex of the person, but it is modernizing the language to be generic. So again, really no substantive change. It's just updating language. I think he found the word independent written or spelled with an A instead of an E, and it updates that as well. So very semantical type changes. 79 is the first real substantive, in my opinion, measure. The first set of the rest of all of these have been placed on the ballot by citizens. So we're done with the legislative body and what they put on the ballot. This is actually put on by the citizens. This one is the repeal or the stopping or not disallowance of any potential sales tax is the best way, but they call it a transfer fee of real estate. And so what this has is, you will see in the voters pamphlet a lot of folks saying, oh, this is crazy. We do not currently in the state of Oregon, with one exception, have what's termed a real estate transfer fee. And essentially what that is whatever the sales price is of whatever real estate you're selling, you're going to pay a sales tax. Whatever it would be, a 2%, a 0.5%, a 3%, right off the top of the sale amount. Not what you owe or what you're making off of it. Generally, it is a straight across thing. So the real estate industry got very concerned with good reason. Since 2001, we have seen legislation introduced in the legislature to try to implement a real estate transfer fee. They have never been successful, but they have tried every legislative session since 2001. So what this does is it is preventing any opportunity in the future for there to ever be a transfer fee on real estate or a sales tax on real estate. Okay, this does amend our Constitution. It essentially says you cannot, at any level of government, put on it. So a city can't put a transfer fee or a real estate tax. A county or the state cannot do that. There is one exception. Washington County actually has a transfer fee in Washington County. And this constitutional amendment does not repeal that already established fee in Washington County. It does allow that one to move forward. But any others in the future, or any that have not been established, would not. Yes?
Would this have anything to do with people who want, let's say, a mobile home or?
It would have any real estate fee at all. So if you sold your
Because they're not normally considered real property.
Yeah, they're not real.
a mobile home is not. I know the land isn't because you don't sell the land, but I thought the mobile.
Well, you own the land, but as I understand it,
write it. They could literally write that it could be in, or they could write that it was out.
Because
So,
that would get a lot of bells.
this would this would preclude anybody from ever writing it in for any type of real estate, whether it was a mobile home or a house or anything. So this is a preclusion from them doing it to you. They have not done it yet. It would preclude them from ever doing it. Does that make sense? So AFP does take a stance. This is a positive move. This is a protection. We also believe that this is appropriate to amend the Constitution. Your Constitution is to protect citizens from the overreach of the legislature and your governing bodies. We believe this is exactly that. It's protecting citizens from any overreach of the legislature or the governing bodies that are in place. So we do believe that this is the appropriate place, is in the Constitution to put this. Let's see. Oh, one of the things that I've done, because I actually read the voter pamphlet statements from all of the different opposing, and this is one, I have one other example I will share with you, but this is one that really concerned me. In the bottom of the blue is an actual quote that you will see in the voter pamphlet when you get it. And it just appalled me because it says, corporate lobbyists behind the measure are trying to give themselves a special tax protection that no one else can get. And this is from Economic Fairness. Now, first of all, the only people that are being protected are homeowners. And I don't consider as a homeowner that I am a special interest. And so that just really, I just thought that that was just a slap in the face as a homeowner, that simply because the real estate association led the charge, a real estate person is not going to reap any benefit of precluding this. The homeowner reaps this benefit. And the fact that they think that as a homeowner I'm special interest, I want to know who isn't special interest at that point. Some of the statements are just amazing to me, and you'll see another one later down the road. Any questions about the real estate transfer fee or the preclusion of it?
I just want to say that it really is a transfer tax, it's not a sales tax.
Right.
Because whether you have sale or not, it impacts like the transfer of interest in a trust or a generational.
Oh,
within a
yeah.
family,
Yeah, that's true.
That sort of thing, yeah. And it's also more than just homes, it's any transfer period. It could be forest property, agriculture property.
It's all properties.
Yeah.
Yes.
everything.
So she wanted to reinforce it isn't just a sales tax, it's a transfer fee protection. So it does apply to all real estate, whether there's a home on it or not, that this would traditionally be applied to. And so it is a transfer fee, and it does preclude, like if you're transferring from one family member to another, though there are other taxes that loop you in called capital gains right now, and I will talk about that later.
If you vote yes on this, are you preventing the tax?
Yes, so a yes vote is the correct, in my opinion, and AFP's opinion,